All right, what up, family? So it's your boy. I actually just got back in. It's a late night. I had a very nice night. It was very pleasurable, so I'm deeply grateful for that. It's always fun when I go have fun. We'll leave it there. Anyway, that said, you know, for the men out there, right? If I'm going to be helpful to you, then we got to start dealing with realities. We got to start getting rid of some of the myths that have been sold to us about women throughout our lifetimes, in order to have a better understanding of who they are when we have to deal with them in a relationship format. And the clearer that we are in our minds about who they are, the better decisions we can make for ourselves, as men, because that's really important. Because the reality is that as men today, it's unfortunate, but we are under attack, whether it be in the streets, the media, or more importantly, the courtroom. We're being destroyed emotionally, financially, spiritually by these relationships that we engage in because of the women that we choose to love. And it's starting to have a cataclysmic effect on our well-being and also our overall perception of women as long-term partners. There's plenty of, I was watching, that Red Pill documentary that I watched, which was very interesting, and you see the suicide rates and, how men are really struggling, and there's just not a lot of help out there. And that really kind of touched me, to be honest with you. And so for this series, which I'm probably going to entitle Dear Men, that's going to start dealing with all of the myths that have been sold to us and start breaking those down so we can have a more clear understanding of what we need to do to protect ourselves as we journey through this thing that we call life. All right? So, with that said, let's get it.
To my ladies all across the globe, there's a player in my heart, but I think he knows. You got me feeling kinda special and it seems so rushed. I guess it is what it is and now I caught your crush. I dedicate this to my ladies all across the globe. There's a player in my heart, but I think he knows. You got me feeling kinda special and it seems so rushed. I guess it is what it is and now I caught your crush. Yeah. Alright, let's take him down south now. Family reunion.
So let's start with one of the first myths that are out there, and that is women being loyal. Now, in all honesty, it's actually not a myth, it's a fact. So when women say that they are loyal, they are actually telling the truth. The problem is, they're not telling the whole truth. And the whole truth is simply this: women are only truly loyal to themselves. However, they are loyal to how they feel about you. And the only problem with that for you as a man is that feelings change. However, if you listen to her and you listen to her love language, she is very astute at convincing you that that is a reality. But unfortunately, the data doesn't support their arguments. So if you do a little bit of research, right, and let's just look at the topic of divorce, right? I think, as a rough estimate, 70% of all divorces are filed by women.
All aboard!
That's a high-ass number for people who are loyal to you. And then that statistic alone, that data, clearly proves that their loyalty is to themselves and how they feel. And when those feelings change, then you're going to be left holding a bag of emotion that honestly you don't know what to do with. Because as men, we don't have as much practice at balancing emotions as women do, especially the negative ones. Meanwhile, she's moved on and is out in the world doing her own thing, and you're left there looking like an idiot or feeling like an idiot because you 100% bought into her love language. And now that she's shown you the cold-hearted truth of her loyalty by being with somebody else, you're now left in a state of shock and confusion. So it is important that as men, we understand what her level of loyalty really means, and you don't buy into it because you can't afford to buy into it. If you do, the only fool is you. So the question you should be asking yourself is, why can't I buy into her love language? And that answer is pretty simple. Because you're not a female and because you don't have a vagina. When you break it down, what a vagina is for a woman, it's the ultimate get out of jail free card, and it's the ultimate victim card. So you have to understand, no matter how bad your experience is with a woman, right? Ultimately, there's always going to be a guy or whoever waiting behind you that can't wait to be next in line. And when she meets this person, she is naturally going to play the victim role and make all the bad things that did happen in the relationship all about you, even if it wasn't necessarily true. Because very rarely do you ever find a woman that says, hey, the failure of my last relationship is on me. They don't operate like that. So for you as a man, it is imperative that you understand that a woman's vagina gives her a rebound game that is equivalent to that of a Dennis Rodman, or even better, a Wilt Chamberlain. So a woman can always bounce back, especially an attractive one, because her sex is her honeypot that attracts all her suitors into a room, thus making it the ultimate get out of jail free card, or better said, the ultimate reset button. Now for you as a man, your bounce back game is way less prolific because you have to go out there and find a replacement, as opposed to a female, a replacement comes to her. And now because you're a man, the chances of you pre-planning an exit strategy are slim to none, because you don't operate or move like females do, who are always pre-planning an exit strategy before any relationship comes to an end. And see, what as men do, we get a girl and you think that's your girl. She is not your girl. And to be frank, I don't care what she tells you. I actually don't even care if she believes what she tells you. Because as men, we have a responsibility to ourselves to make sure that we don't invest too deeply in the alternative reality of female emotion. And what happens to you as a man, once you buy into that reality and you start believing in that that's your girl, you are on the precipice, aka this big ass cliff that I'm showing you, of heartbreak. You just don't know it yet. But I promise you, it's a long way down, homie. And I put it to you like this. If she was really your girl, then she wouldn't have had a boyfriend before you, and she won't have a boyfriend after you. So be smart, fellas, and never forget that her love language is only meant to be trusted and believed on the actual day that she's using it. Because to take it any further than that only puts you at risk. And I can't stress to you that you owe it to yourself to be smarter than that. Your logic has gotten you this far, and I promise you, it'll always probably serve you better than any of your emotions ever can or will. So that's my time. Actually, I don't have a time, but that's besides the point. I'm out. Credits.
My California mommy, I got a crush on her. My sexy Scorpio dime with a kitty that purrs. Left Laguna on the beach and feel your fantasies. And you can call me Hollywood since they starring me. I want a boogie on your board and let you ride my waves. Then we could run DMC, I'll help you walk this way. I wanna sip on Tangeray, bumping Jagged E. I'll be your DJ quick, you're my sweet black